5 mistakes you need to avoid when looking at what might be the biggest part of your net worth, Mark. What are they?
All right, one of the biggest ones we see is too much investment risk. You can apply this to any investment you make, but in housing is what we're focused on. What does that mean? You're spending too much money on the home, folks. You don't understand the real cost associated with it. You're buying a 5-bedroom, 4-bath home, and there are 3 of you in the household, and you do not like your in-laws. So, folks, the reality is one of the biggest components on any investment is, are you out over your skis? Too far over your skis? Are you spending more than you should? Is the risk greater than the potential reward? So that's number 1. Number 2 would be what, Craig, as it relates to
too little investment risk.
Yeah,
that can be
and sometimes when we talk about the investment risk as it relates to your home, it's not that we're not saying you spent too little on the house. In this instance, we might be saying that you have chosen to buy a $115,000 house, and in that $115,000, you chose to put all of your life savings down on that house. So regardless of that, you put all the money you had and you put it down on that house, took it out of savings, etc. So where you may think you're taking too little, where you're being conservative and you are taking the conservative, you're actually taking the riskier route.
Yeah.
You are spending more of that money that could otherwise be in another risk area that we say you consider as diversification. Too little diversification. So you think you're taking too little risk and you put a big down payment on the house, really you're taking greater risk because you're removing that liquidity. That's what we see a big portion of. People struggle to put 20% down, and they will do it in a fashion where it leaves them no savings to pay in the event of a life emergency. They run up credit card debt, etc.
Yep.
So
just like putting money in a savings account that earns 0.5% interest or less, and you think you're being conservative because you just know there's no way your money is going to lose value, so you're protecting yourself. In reality, you're up against the effects of inflation on your income and on your money, and now you're actually losing, a couple percentage points or more on that quote-unquote investment that you think is safe. I mean, there is a right way to balance your portfolio and avert some of those risks and balance out and hedge against inflation.
So that speaks to our number 3, too little diversification, and then we go to too much diversification. Craig, sometimes we like to make things a little more complex than they should be. Oftentimes we may consider we own a home, maybe it's our first home, it's a condo, and we're thinking that we're going to now rent it because we can cover the mortgage payment and we're going to buy a larger home. We've gotten married, we're going to start a family, etc. Our recommendation is keep it simple. Unless you've got a good track record or really the spare time and the understanding of a business plan that you can really make money on that. Keep it simple and don't over-diversify. Any other parts on the over-diversification piece?
Nope, that makes sense. I hope it's making sense to everybody listening.
All right, and the 5th one, Craig. What's the 5th one with a number 6 in front of it?
Yeah, using past performance as your guide. This can bite you in the hiney, folks.
That's right. Just because houses went up 7% to 15% over a 3 to 5 year period does not mean that you're going to put your life savings into becoming a real estate magnate. And it also means that you shouldn't count on that same continued performance. I think safely, folks, real estate is a long-term investment. It's something we've always told you. And if you use inflation as a guide, you're pretty safe, and you can see it's historically run there. Use 2 to 3% as the rate of return. There can be multiple instances where you can do better than that, where you're getting some sweat equity in a house, where ultimately you've been there and the market's gotten hot, all those things. But when you're considering it as an investment, look at it a conservative number. If you're conservative, you'll always come out ahead.
That's right.
Right?